Hi, I'm Harry Rao, founder and CEO of TestGrid. Welcome to 5 Minutes Mentorship.
So today on 5 Minute Mentorship, we have got a guest who bridges the worlds of founders, ecosystem building, and smart, meaningful investing. Charles Robinson is the managing partner at 1888 Ventures. He is also a 2025 Investor of the Year finalist for his exceptional support of Atlanta's startup ecosystem. Charles, so good to have you on the podcast.
Thank you, brother. I'm glad to be here, man. I love what you're doing with this 5 minute mentorship thing, man. It's amazing.
Thank you, Charles. What's one lesson founders consistently misunderstand about the VC world?
I think, especially in the early stages, the misconception is that VCs are there to give you money to scale the company from point A to point B, when the reality, VCs are giving you money to go from point A to point double Z, which is an exit. So an exit happens in two ways mostly, which is acquisition, somebody bigger buys you, or IPO, initial public offering, you become a public company. And if you don't go into that with that in mind, you're going to have a misconception of what a VC actually does.
That's awesome. What's the one, if I know it earlier, that's the truth about scaling SaaS product that every founder or engineer should literally tattoo in their mind?
I would say it's not complex, it's difficult. Being able to understand your customer intimately is probably the best thing you could do for your business. And what I would categorize a successful understanding is MRR, your monthly recurring revenue. If you understand that, that literally solves most of your problems. Now, how do you get there? Understanding your numbers from LTV, customer acquisition cost, burn rate, top of funnel, etc. Like if you can understand that, that is where you can do your blocking and tackling to grow your SaaS business specifically.
Money does kill startups. So it's like starvation, also indigestion. Do you have any data points around this that most startups fail not from starvation but from indigestion?
I think it all boils down to momentum. Most startups die from indigestion versus starvation. Is that once you get momentum, in most cases, obviously there are outliers. I have yet to see a startup just completely die from starvation, meaning like they can't get any money in the door and they just absolutely fail. Usually they get some form of momentum, they get customers paying them, they start to hit that trajectory towards growth, and then they lose momentum by trying to add something there to the pot that didn't need to be there. They overcomplicated it, and now they have this form of indigestion and they've lost momentum.
What's the biggest red flag or your BS radar goes off in a founder deck that most founders miss?
I would say it's two things. One, not knowing your numbers. You're there to accelerate trust and accelerate confidence with me and you. The second piece is, and I hear this a lot, is if we get 1% of the market, we will be the most amazing business in this industry. Because if you understood how difficult it is to actually capture 1% of a market, you would understand that it is so far-fetched for an investor to see you starting from zero. It's just a rookie mistake.
What's the difference between 1 million ARR founder versus a 10 million ARR founder? Is it typically the laser focused things that the 10 million per founder is doing, or is it talent that differs?
I've been on both sides of the spectrum and I've had my own rookie mistakes. I would say for the 10 million ARR founder, they have a very intimate relationship and understanding of who their customer is. They know exactly what the sales cycle is. They know typically what the conversion rate is, almost to a T, and they pretty much operate within that systemic focus to make sure that they hit that number continuously. Whereas a $1 million ARR founder, they can, make some base hits and hit $1 million, but still not fully understand where they are.
This is my favorite of what you are doing for the community, Charles, right? It's always good to give back and, help the community thrive together. So I see with your Haiti District Fund, you're proving venture plus social impact can coexist. What's the biggest myth about impact investing that tech founders should unlearn?
I think there are two sides of that coin. First, I would say the myth is that you cannot get outsized return being in the social impact space. I think because social impact gets a bad rap for being heavily mission oriented and not margin oriented, and that's just not true. I think the types of capital that's available for social impact will allow for outsized returns. The second piece is more so connected to capital and community. And I would like to say that community and capital move at two different speeds, and they have two different currencies. Capital's currency is based off of returns, and community's currency is based off of trust. And a lot of times there's an imbalance in between the two. And what I've learned having been in this space, most people don't want to deal with it because it's hard. It's hard trying to do the balancing act and then being misconstrued for
One is
side.
transactional, one is emotional. Thank you so much for being here, Charles.
Thank you, brother.